Hey everyone, welcome to Hostel Management. Welcome. We are here with Chris from Hostel Apostles.
Hello, Hostel
And
Management World.
He is going to be showing us how to use the social media app Snapchat to make quick and easy video content for your hostels. Now, I know many hostels think video content, even though we all know it's engaging and it's great, it can be very overwhelming. It can feel like it takes lots of planning, a lot of skill, be very expensive. And I discovered that Chris was using Snapchat for Hostel Apostles to make really easy video content. And he convinced me, even though I'm technically challenged sometimes, that we would be able to do this. So he is going to give us a quick tutorial on how to do that.
Sure. Well, thank you, Courtney. And yeah, we're here to talk today about Snapchat. And the glory of Snapchat is it's largely a very simple video and picture sharing format. That for those of you not familiar with Snapchat, it's an app that allows you to share content that's available for a 24-hour period in increments of 10 seconds or less. And you can do that in a story format. You'll see a lot of people give you highlights throughout their day. But in this case, we're talking today about how we use it as a way hostels can showcase their activities and their facilities.
So I thought one of the things with Snapchat, and maybe many of you are thinking this, is that Snapchat disappears. So what's the point with making video content that would be gone in 24 hours?
Sure. And for those that, let's say you don't have a big Snapchat audience, the glory of Snapchat, and it's a lesser known fact, is that you can save your video content for that 24-hour period. So if you're, let's say you spend 2 hours getting footage from your hostel, you can save that when it's done, and you basically have a native vertical video at that point of what you've just recorded.
All right, so basically Snapchat is not all about photos disappearing like it was originally intended.
Right.
We can actually not only do videos and not just photos, we can save them. So yeah, without further ado, why don't you explain to us how we do this?
Sure. Well, thank you. And what we're going to do, we're going to jump into a quick clip of us touring a hostel and going from, one activity from another. So you can kind of see what the 10-second clips and pictures look like. So, Courtney, would you like to cut into our first segment?
We are going to screen share real quick so we can see this. And if you can see this here, give me 1 second.
Yes, this is a feature that we did at the Same Sun.
Oh, this is just the most quintessentially Venice Beach view you're ever going to get right from the hostel common room. And right below the hostel, you've got Danny's at Venice Beach. What's so special about this little bar and grill?
They've got tacos from I Love You Man.
Exactly. So it's
that's awesome.
You can have a little fun with it. That's what the writing on the screen allows you can do. You can write short messages to post to photos and videos as well. But what you were seeing there, we were doing a tour of the hostel, and then we went down to feature some of the activities. So you can easily jump from one thing to another as you're filming and then shortly upload it right after that.
So what I gather is with a little bit of planning, you could say, okay, here's our common room, and then it could be here's our pool or here's our bar. And even though it might take a minute or two to walk from one of those to the other, you just stop filming, start filming at the next place. And as long as you kind of have it planned out in a row, it's just, we have this, we have that, we have that.
Exactly. I typically go into an episode with a game plan. I will figure out what the hostel wants to feature, what are the things that make the place unique that they'd like their audience to see. So that way, it's a piece of content that they're excited to share after it's created.
Awesome. Very cool. You may have noticed that video is a little bit jittery on our end. That's because we were screen sharing via Google Hangouts, but it actually goes quite smooth when you do it yourself. So if you saw that and wondered about that, that has to do with technology of sharing. Cool. So another thing that I was wondering when I first saw Snapchat and about videos is 10 seconds is a really short time to get information. It's pretty easy to say, okay, here's this or here's that. But what if you have more content you want to be sharing kind of fluidly? What are our options then?
Yes, that's a great point. And really the nice thing about Snapchat is even though it is just 10-second clips, you can do, let's say, 3 10-second clips in a row. So that way you can create a little more of an explanation, a little more of a story when you need to. And that's honestly how I would usually, let's say, intro a lot of my videos. We're going to cut to another clip that would show the introduction from that same video that we were creating basically just giving you some preface for what you would see in the video.
So let's go ahead and screen share over to that so you can see it. Let's see here. This is several clips together, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey hostel goers, it's Chris and I'm parked right off of Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles, California, where today we're going to be checking out 2 same-some backpacker hostels. Let's get going. Busy Hollywood Boulevard on a Sunday, and here we are.
All right. So you could see there that he was, at least from what I saw, you were talking about this is what we're going to do, and then he transitioned right into here it is.
Yeah, so in that case, 10 seconds wasn't quite enough to do that explanation. I gave a quick preface of where we were and then gave you a quick visual to show you a bit more on Hollywood Boulevard to continue the story. So even if you can't get what you want said in that 10 seconds, there's the opportunity to just upload it to your story and then record the next segment right there.
And I could imagine this working really well if you're, for instance, trying to explain all the special features of your hostel and you want to say, we have in our bar area, we've got games and we've got, cocktails or whatever. But we also have amazing atmosphere in our common room. We have this, this, and this. And you're just simply speaking, but it's in clips back to back.
Absolutely, and actually another great way to use it is if, let's say, there are 2 people that want to have a dialogue on Snapchat too, like similar to the way, Courtney, that you and I are having this conversation right now. We could have a conversation over the course of 3 clips or so if we wanted to have a 2-way dialogue featured on Snapchat.
So I would say something in 10 seconds, you would respond in 10 seconds.
Exactly.
Back and forth.
Exactly.
Okay,
so
interesting.
There are a lot of possibilities with Snapchat. One of the other things you might have noticed on that very first clip was there was a little Los Angeles logo right in the corner of the screen.
Yeah.
And what those are geo filters. So it's what I would say a playful way to add some character to your snaps. One of the things we'll feature in our last clip is that Snapchat doesn't necessarily have the same quality expectation as a professional video these days because people understand you're making it on the fly. With the opportunity to add geo filters and add writing to the screen and even draw on the screen as well. There's not necessarily a hardcore quality expectation for it right now.
And the fact that it started as a social media app, I don't think anyone's expecting professional level.
Exactly.
I mean, you can do pretty amazing things with phones these days, but it still, as you said, has that personality of here's what's happening right now with our hostel. That personal connection.
A fun way that it's been described is that, what Facebook was 10 years ago where you just share random things, where now Facebook's become kind of a heavily curated platform where you put a lot of thought into what you're putting out there before you throw it there. Snapchat allows you to be whimsical and allows you to be fun and take some liberties and, to an extent, enjoy social media again for the first time.
Interesting. Cool. So anything else you want to share about what we can do with it? Can we do some fun things?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have one more clip that's going to show a couple of the things that you can do to have fun with the platform. You've seen a little bit of it today, but I'm going to let Courtney cut over to the last clip and I'll explain a couple final tidbits about Snapchat.
So we have, make sure I get this right one for you. All right. So here we go.
All right, heading on up to reception.
So you can see there that we had several different little clips there, and they had emojis on them, which looks pretty cool. Emojis and writing.
Yeah, so emojis are one of the big things. That's a very easy way to decorate and give some personality to it. Putting the sleepy smiley face emoji on the bed is kind of an obvious one, but
that's the one I should have.
Yeah, you might as well. If this is your first Snapchat video of your hostel, by all means, use the smiley face emoji with the bed when you're displaying it. It's a great, easy trick to get a couple chuckles. But in addition to that, I mean, what you're seeing from that is with the drawings and where I'm putting the emojis and just kind of the, if you looked at going up the staircase, mentioned that this isn't necessarily meant to be the perfectly curated platform. You can have some shakiness to it because people know you're going around with your phone and they know you're having fun with the platform.
You're not on a tripod going upstairs. You're like, okay, here we are.
Exactly. There's not the pressure of spending hours and hours doing video editing. You can basically, once you're done with your story, just save the story and then upload that to your website. on or via YouTube would be the way most people would do it.
And I would imagine, though you don't want, absolutely awful content on your website ever, having video content that's fun but not super professional is better than no content at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing with Snapchat still being kind of new, it is a new innovative way that probably a lot of other people aren't really doing to showcase their facilities in a story format. So.
And as he said earlier, you don't necessarily need lots of followers to use Snapchat for your hostel, because it's essentially not about your followers at all. You're making these videos, you're saving them, and then you could upload them to your YouTube channel. You could embed them in your website, share them on your Facebook. It's just a really easy way to get video content. So
exactly, the power of saving your video is that you can spread it to where your channels are. You can post a video to YouTube, you can share that on Facebook. So if that's where your existing audience is at, it's easier to access them that way.
Awesome. And yeah, I think adding the emojis and the writing, not only is it really fun and gave me a good laugh when I first saw that, but I think it's a great way, because it is a 10-second clip. You're seeing something so quickly that you can add context very easily. So it maybe is a really quick clip of the bar, but you could add in text that says, drink specials every Wednesday, or something that adds more context. So yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah, and that's yeah, absolutely. If you want to find out more about Snapchat and how we're using it as Hostel Apostles, you can check out hostelapostles.com. Courtney, do you have any other questions or things you'd like me to share with the audience before we wrap for the day?
I think I would just say give it a try. I played around with it with Chris, and people ask if I have Snapchat, and I'm like, I don't understand Snapchat. I'm getting too old for this. But it was very easy, and I think many people could do it. So if you're feeling very overwhelmed by video, or by different technologies, there's always something new. Just give it a go. Your guests will be, friendly and easy with you about it. No one's expecting crazy quality amazingness out of Snapchat. So
yes.
Yeah, just give it a try. If you want to see more, I did a blog post on some of Chris's top tips on how to do this. So if you prefer the written format, you can check to that. I'll link to it below in this video. And feel free to shoot him an email. Your email is?
Chris@hostelapostles.com. You can find me there.
Check out his website. So, all right. Thanks for watching, and happy video making.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
Bye.